We've reviewed exponents, we've looked at zero exponents, we've looked at exponents that are negative, and today we're going to look at what happens when we multiply two powers that both have the same base. Okay, so to do this we need to remember how to write in expanded form. So x squared, as we know, is x times x. We know that y cubed is y times y times y. And we know that 4 to the 6th is 4 times 4 times 4. And we're going to write that 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? We're going to use expansion to help us with this next thing that we're going to learn how to do. When we see x squared times x to the 5th, well, x squared is x times x, right? And x to the 5th is x times x times x times x times x. So I've got x times itself 5 times. So I've got x squared times x to the 5th, and what I notice is that I'm writing x times itself a bunch of times. I can write this as a single exponent. So all I need to do is count how many x's I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my final answer is x to the 7th. So I expanded it, I counted how many x's I had, and then I write it as a single exponent. Let's do this one with y. Y to the 4th is y times y times y times y. Y times itself 4 times. Times y to the 5th is y times itself 5 times. So I have 4 y's multiplied by themselves, and then another 5 y's multiplied by itself. So I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 y's. So this is y to the 9th. See if you notice something. See if you can figure out a way we can do this and not have to expand. Expanding always works, but there might be a shortcut. Okay, so let's do it with numbers. The instructions on the first page said to do not evaluate. That means we don't want to work these out. We just want to write it as a base and an exponent. So 3, here this is 3 to the first power, right? So that's just 1 3. Times 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3. Well, that's 3 times itself. How many times? 4 times. So I could write that as 3 to the 4th. Okay? Now, what about 10 to the 5th? 10 to the 5th means 10 times itself 5 times. 10 to the 0 is, what is anything to the 0 power? 1, right? So I've got 10 times itself 5 times 1. So all I really have is 10 to the 5th. Do you notice anything? Look at the exponents. Look at the answer. If you see something, you may see if you can try it on the next one and see if you get the right answer. All right, what if I have more than more than 2 things I'm multiplying, but notice they all have the same base. This only works when they all have the same base. So x squared is x times x. X to the 4th is x times itself 4 times. And x cubed is x times itself 3 times, right? So how many times am I multiplying x times itself? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I end up with x to the 9th. Okay, let's do it with the 4's over here. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 to the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then times another 4, like that. So how many 4's do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I end up with 4 to the 9th power. And that's how we want to write all our answers here. So do you notice anything? Do you notice anything? Do you notice that the base never changes? I started with x, I ended with x. I started with 3, I ended with 3. I had a base of 10, I ended with a base of 10. Started with a base of 4, I ended with a base of 4. So the base never changes. What happened to the exponents? Do you see? 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So we add the exponents. When you're multiplying with the same base, you add the exponents. Now, you can expand every single time and it'll work. But if you see the shortcut and you understand it, you can use it. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the weird ones. Let's say I have 3 times x to the 6th times 5x squared. So when you see numbers and variables together, you want to split them up. You want to write the 3 times 5 together, and then you want to write the x to the 6th times x squared together. So put the numbers together, put the variables together. 3 times 5 is 15, and then right here we can use our new little rule. Now we can write out 6 x's, we can write out 2 x's. How many x's are we going to have? We're going to have x to the 8th power, right? 6 plus 2 is 8. So put your numbers together, put your variables together. If you look at the next one, it looks a little scary. 2a squared b to the 4th c cubed times 7a squared b squared c squared. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the numbers together, 2 times 7. We're going to put the a's together, a squared times a squared. We're going to put the b's together, b to the 4th times b squared. And we're going to put the c's together, c cubed times c squared. So just group everything together. And now, I'm sorry, that's c squared. That's a 2. All right, so 2 times 7, that's 14. What is a squared times a squared? Well, I'm going to multiply 2 a's and 2 more a's. So I'll have a to the 4th. Then I'm going to multiply b to the 4th times b squared. I'm going to have 4 b's and 2 b's. So I'm going to be multiplying 6 b's together, b to the 6th. And then 3 c's and 2 more c's is going to make c to the 5th. Remember that when you're multiplying with the same base, you add the exponents, okay? All right, so sometimes they give us some information and we just have to find this little question mark. What's missing here, okay? So I've got y times y times another y times y times y. Well, how many times am I multiplying y by itself? 5 times, right? So my question mark is 5. That's going to be y to the 5th, okay? What if I'm multiplying z cubed times z to the 4th? Well, they're all the same base, so I can add my exponents. So 3 plus 1 plus 4, what is that? That is 7 and 8. So my question mark, this is going to be z to the 8th. And then my last one over here says m to what power times m to the 7th equals m to the 12th. Well, if I started with a 7, 7 plus what would give me 12? What do I add to 7 to get 12? 5, right? So then my question mark here would be 5. So you're going to have some questions on your Google form in a little while that look like that. That is how you do them.